Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the tutorial. So in this particular section, we're going to start creating our database and our database tables for our course. Now, as you can see, I am on PHPMyAdmin. This is a graphical user interface, PHPMyAdmin. So to get to this place, all you have to do is to type localhost / PHPMyAdmin. Okay, this works the same whether you're on MAMP or exam like myself, or if you're on WAMP. So this is all you have to do, just localhost PHPMyAdmin and you should be there. Okay, and so the next thing I have to do here is to click on databases. Now I'm going to give my database a name. I'm going to give it result checking. Okay, let's do that. Then I'm going to click on create. Result checking, not checker. Result checking, create. Alright, database created. So first of all, we're going to have some bunch of tables in this particular database. We're going to have the admin table, the classics table, we're going to have the generated pins table, the pins table, student, and the terminal report. So I'm going to start first of all with creating the student table. So I'm going to come here and give it the name of student. A number of columns, I'm going to write 8 here. I'm going to make 8 columns here. Then I'm going to click on go. Okay, so I'm going to click on go. Now the first element here, the first data here will be the student ID. So I'm going to give student ID. I can spell student ID, and it's going to be a type of int, and the index is primary key, and of course auto increment, very important, auto increment, so we don't have to insert data manually with the number. So whenever we insert the new data, it gets incremented automatically. Alright, so the next field here will be the name of the student, and this is going to be a type of varchar, and the length we're going to leave it at 60. Okay, the next will be sex, and it will be a type of varchar, and the length will be 10. The next one will be classics ID, type of int. Okay, the next one will be register number, so this will hold the registration number of the student, and it will be a type of varchar, and of course we give it 128. Then the next will be username of the student, username varchar, and the length is 40. Then we're going to have exam pin, so I'm going to give this exam_pin, so this will hold the exam pin of the student, and also it's going to be an int. Then the last one will be card serial number. So whenever a student uses a card for the first time, we're going to save the particular card serial number for that particular student in the table. So I'm going to give this varchar and length of 255. Alright, so we are done with the student table. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save here. Okay, yeah, of course. Now if you come back to the structure, this is what we have: student ID, the name, the sex, classes ID, the registration number, username, exam pin, and of course the card serial number. Okay, so the next table we're going to create here will be the classics table. This will be the classics table, and I'll come back to the database, result checking database. We're going to create a new table here, and we're going to call it classes. Okay, and the number of columns we want here is just 3 columns, so let's make it 3 and hit go. Alright, so the first table we want here would be classes ID, classes ID, type of int, index is primary. Okay, auto increment again, very important. The next one will be classics, and this will be varchar 60. The next will be classics numeric. So this particular table, we're going to be storing the numeric value of the student classes numeric, and it's going to be an int as well. So this is fine. Click on save. Okay, now the next table we want to create here is the pins table. We're going to create the pins table. Okay, so we'll go back to the database again, and here we're going to create another table and call it pins, and the number of columns here should be 6. Then we click on go. So the first is ID, an ID int primary key. Okay, we'll go back. We're going to have pin code. We are going to store the code for each particular student. I'm going to give this a varchar and the length of 255. The next will be the expiration date of the pin. Remember we said the pin expires at the end of the term, so we are setting an expiration date for the pin. So I'm going to choose date, input type of date. Should find date somewhere. Yeah, that should be date. Okay, so and also we're going to have another table, okay, we're going to have another field for date issued. So this will be the date the pin was issued, and the same date here. The next will be used by. Want to store the student that uses the pin. So any student that uses the pin will store it here. So 255 is nice here. The last is status. So status varchar, just make it 20. So we're going to have a status of either open or close for a particular pin. So when a pin is used, the status will be closed, and when a pin is open, the status remains. When a pin is not used, the status will be open. So with this, I can go ahead and click on save again for this particular table. Alright, so the next table we're going to create here will be the terminal report table. So I'm going to type here terminal underscore report, and of course the number of columns for this will be 5. Number of columns is 5, and we click on go. Okay, so here we're going to have ID, and of course it will be int, auto increment, and primary key. Click on go there. The next will be class ID int, that is fine, and we're going to have report card. Okay, that's report card, and that will be, let's just give it a type of test. Then we're going to have the name of the student. Student name here will be varchar, so I'm just going to leave it at 255 for now. The next will be exam year, and that will be a varchar. This we can leave for 60. Okay, so I'm going to add one more column. Okay, that should be here for the exam term. So I'm going to have exam term as well, and that would be another varchar, and also this can also be 60. So we have ID, class ID, report card, student name, exam year, and exam term. So with this we are good to go. Click on save. So one more or two more tables you're going to create will be the generated pins Okay, generated pins table. So the table we're going to be storing all the pins that are generated by admin. So we're going to go come back here and type generated pins, and the number of columns here will be 5 again, and we click on go. So first of all, I'm going to have my ID, which is auto increment, and the primary key. Okay, then the next will be pin. It's the pin itself. So here I'm going to give it a type of varchar and 255. The next one is the date generated. This is the date that the pin was actually generated, and that would be a date type. Then the expired date is another very important field we should have. So the date this pin expires, so we'll just give it a date as a type again. And the last one is status. So the status varchar, let's just make it 10. Then I'm going to click on save. Alright, the last table we're going to be creating here would be the admins table. Okay, that'll be the admins table. So I'm going to come back here and I'll click here, write admin, and here I can leave this as 3. I click on go. So first of all, an ID, admin should have an ID, auto increment again, and of course primary key. Then the username of the admin, that would be a type of varchar, and of course we can leave this as 30. And the last but not the least is password. Also this will be varchar, and we can leave this as 16. Okay, so with this, click on save, and of course we are good to go. So I've created all the databases we are going to be using, our database and the tables we are going to be using for this particular course. We have the admin table, the classes table, the generated pins table, the pins table, the students table, and the terminal report table. Okay, so that is that for our database structuring and database files. So in the next tutorial, we're going to start coding the course proper. We're going to start by developing the login system for the student section. Okay, so thank you very much, and of course I will see you in the next video.